Dark Satellite Media.
Yo, this is hip-hop, the purest form of art there ever was. Y'all can keep on saying it's gonna die, but it never does. It never will, cause dope MCs will keep on flexing skill. With or without a record deal, I always kept it real. Remember the feeling the first time that you heard Iron Man? Even if you weren't into rap, you were surprised like, damn, this shit is dope. Nod and let your mind expand, and put your hands up if you ever poured Old English in your frying pan. Hip-hop is older and wiser, no it ain't dying, fam. If you can't see that, then you need an eye exam. Now I'm a man, but when I was a younger cat, the radio would play dope songs, and now it's fucking whack. Cornballs rapping about guns and crack, but it's all a fantasy, it's all made up and nothing's fact. I live the stuff that I spit when I'm in the booth, and I still bump ill street blues and live in proofless.
Hey, welcome to Red River Podcast episode. I don't know what the fuck it is, but you're gonna
never know.
Yeah, you're gonna see it up on there and shit. No big deal. Today we get to talk to Nightwalker, man, hip hop MC, hip hop producer. Thank you so much for hanging out and doing this shit, man.
No doubt, bro.
So, you know, you're like one of them dudes that like interesting, man. You're super talented. Me and Brian are big hip hop fans, and whenever you drop like, you know, beats, I'm like, damn, I love the whole hip hop production side of it. And like, you know, we always hit each other back and forth, man. And I'm like, I don't really know much about like Dead Rabbits. I don't know much of why you went to Chicago, and you're a super talented dude. So I figured, you know, we have a podcast and we like talking music and shit. So fucking, you know, I wanted you to talk.
Let's talk.
All right, cool. So anyway, growing up on Long Island, I think you're from like, was it Plainview? Was it?
Oh, Bethpage.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Ah, shit. It's where I work.
Shout out to Joe Sullivan and that whole crew. But so how did you get into music? Because you also do, I mean, maybe just growing up where we grew up, you know, we're always so influenced by guitar-based music as well. You know, like I wanted to DJ. I always wanted to DJ, but in my head, I'm like, I think I could play the guitar, and it's a lot easier than figuring out how to like cut beats. So
I think I did the opposite.
Okay.
I want to be in a band and shit, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not good at this.
Okay, yeah. So how did that begin for you?
It's hard to find other people that are good too. Well, I'm gonna just move my. Yeah, it's hard to find like other people that you can be in a band with. And,
yes.
Like I'm talking about when I was like 12 and shit. I'm not talking about like a grown up, you know?
Yeah.
A little kid, like, oh, cool. Yeah, we're in a band now. There was no internet. It's like, yeah, cool. Like I set up my bass. I remember I used to bring my bass amp outside on my porch. And me and my guy used to fucking jam out, like playing Cliff Burton solos and shit outside. So my neighbors cops and shit.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. So you were playing bass, and like was music always like a big part of your life?
Hell yeah, always.
Yeah, me too.
Since I was like old enough to make my own choices and shit, you know, since I was like 11 or since I started drinking and shit, you know?
What was the thing that got you, that, you know, the bug that bit you? Did you grow up in a musical household? Did you something you just heard, or what got you into?
I mean, my parents listened to a lot of music, but none of them really, they had guitars and shit, but I don't know. Like my dad had I took their record collection when I was real young, and they had like Black Sabbath and Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and shit when I was like a little, and I was like that. Then like my friend's older sister used to hang out with older kids than her. So when I was like 12 or 11, I was hanging out with like 20-year-old motherfuckers and shit. They were listening. They were putting me on to like Kill 'Em All and fucking Tales from the Hard Side and shit. You know, I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. And then it wasn't until I heard like Onyx and like do shit with Biohazard and shit like that, and I was like, yo, I like this shit. I like this a lot. Like the Judgment Night shit,
yeah, we did a whole episode. Yo, because one day we were like, you know how some records don't age well, and we know the movie was kind of not very good, but we were kind of let down by it growing up. But the record, I'm like, let's do an episode and break down each song to see if these songs still stand the test of time. And a lot of them did and shit. But that record in particular, man.
I mean, the Onyx and Biohazard was fucking changed my life, dude.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and a lot of that those records still fucking hold up. So much so that we were like, let's do a whole fucking episode on it.
Yeah, not even to jump ahead too. You did a track with Tim from VOD, right? Submission or remix? Is that? Yeah,
I did. Yeah. That was a long time ago, but yeah, I did. That was on my first album, and like that shit came out in 2007.
Wow.
So I don't even know when we recorded that shit, but that was like with a band from Belgium. And then my guy, Larry from Nassau Chainsaw, put that together. He used to be the drummer. I don't know how far you guys go back, but he used to be the drummer
Neck.
In a band called Neck. There you go. He was the drummer in Neck. And then he became a rapper. I met him in like maybe 2000 or 99 or 2001. And we're like both like, yo, we're like by ourselves, like one-man army fucking rappers. Like, oh, we were the only ones really from Long Island that were like, in Brooklyn, in Manhattan, and fucking Staten Island and shit like that. So we were just like, yo, let's just do shit together. And that motherfucker was wild, dude. We used to bring chainsaws out and fucking hand the crowd like machetes and shit.
Yeah, yo, okay.
We broke a couple places.
No, I never seen it, but I heard Nassau Chainsaw was pretty wild live. You know, I never got a chance to see it, but can you describe like a show, like maybe the craziest show you saw of theirs?
I mean, I don't know how much I'm about to like. I don't know, but we used to roll up and like these motherfuckers would have a duffel bag full of like spiked bats, like machetes, hatchets, and shit, and just like dump them off the stage, like for like everyone in the crowd can like get one. Everyone in the crowd like gets a weapon and shit. Wow. I don't know, man. We had some fucking wild ass times, dude.
That is
that's still a good friend of mine to this day, man. Larry, what up, Larry?
Shout out to Larry. So somewhere along the way, like you know, you start making. Did you start rapping first, or did you start making beats first?
I started rapping and like, okay, so I'll go back to how I started rapping. So when we were like 12, like 11, 12, 13, we used to like ask people. The older kids would like get us 40s and shit. Oh, you know, like, yo, can you go get us like 340s of OE and shit? You know, like we would just like smoke blunts and drink 40s and shit when we were little kids. And there was this one dude that was like part of the Lost Boys crew. Lost Boys is like one of my favorite fucking rap groups like of all time. But
they played Center Reach.
Crew that like wasn't a rapper, but he was like friends with them or whatever.
Yeah.
In their gang or whatever the fuck it was like, yo, I'll do it, but you guys gotta fucking kick a freestyle. And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, dude. I'm like, I listen to Balik and shit. And he's like, you gotta kick a freestyle. And he like made like someone started beatboxing and he did that shit. And then that was like when I was 12 and I've been rapping ever since.
Yo, that's pretty fucking funny. Yeah. So then he was just like, I'll get you some shit. You just gotta freestyle.
You gotta freestyle. I'm like, all right, I don't know how to do that. He's like, yo, just like start saying words and shit. And then I went home and started writing. I found all my old notebooks and shit. It's like 12, 13-year-old kid. I'm fucking writing songs. I have no idea what bars are, like how to count. But I was just like, yo, I'll fuck you up. I'm saying bitch ass motherfucker.
They played Center Reach, I remember, and for the longest time. So I'm not gonna mention their names, but like for the longest time, you know, somebody that we knew was I mean, I guess they played, and you know, one of our mutual friends just like banged one of them, and the place was called Tokyo Joe's. You remember Tokyo Joe? So they played.
Oh, yeah, I saw Corey Feldman there, I think. And the Truth Movement, no joke.
The calendar was wild because they had Corey Feldman and the Lost Boys. But shout out to my friend who banged one of the Lost Boys, and you know, her life was awesome. Afterwards, I don't know. I don't want to name her, but she's doing well, so good for her. But so at that age, man, I love to get into like influences. Like, what was like the first hip hop record that you heard that kind of like blew your mind, where you're just like, this is, because we all grew up like, you know, we're all listening to fucking, you know, Injustice for All and the Black Album and stuff like that. But somewhere along the way, you make that turn and you realize, because back then, man, it was like you're either. It's like, oh, do you listen to rap or do you listen to rock? Like it was so divided for a little bit there. So once you
I was both heavy, man. I'm still to this day.
No, yeah, for sure. But like
everything, even if you were like do you listen to punk or do you listen to metal? Do you listen to like everything was segmented.
And
you listen to punk or do you listen to like New York hardcore?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
yo, we're all outsiders here. Like, why do we have to?
And we're all
beef?
garbage heads. But to me, like I'm probably gonna say like maybe like I remember I bought 2 cassettes. One was Tone Loked After Dark because Funky Cold Medina. Funky Cold Medina blew my mind, and then I bought Def Leppard Hysteria. So like, what was the record that like shifted you?
I'm gonna say like probably Back the Fuck Up.
Okay, yeah.
And like around that era, it was like I also like Muggs, like the Cypress Hill.
I mean, that's
like Cypress Hill's first album, and then like when 36 Chambers came out, and fucking like what else did I like? Like Big L's Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous.
So, yeah.
Like all that era, like all that shit was starting to come out. I always like Lord Finesse.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
were you happy? Were you happy with the winner of the Red River podcast group? The best song on 36 Chambers was what was it? Mystery of the Chess Box.
That's cool. Yeah. Whatever. It's how do you pick a best song?
Yeah, I know you get. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of minutia we deal in.
Yeah, that's the stupidity that we I'm just out here trying to entertain someone's day. But yeah, those records in particular, for sure, man. Like 36 Chambers was huge for us. Even Big L, like I wish he had more of. I wish he lived longer, because what that record was that he did, like lyrically, to this day, like you could tell me that's the best lyrical album, like best lyrical hip hop record, and I would be like, I can't really argue with that.
Dude, my dad got me that CD. Like, I didn't even know what it was. And my dad's like, yo, my friend sells CDs. He said this one was rap. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I looked at the front cover. I'm like, this shit looks corny and shit.
Oh.
And I put it in my CD player. And like, I had like, it's back when, you had like house phones, or like you had to ride your bike. I like went to get all my friends. Like, yo, you guys got to fucking hear this shit. Like, I fucking we all like kicked it in my room, like listening to fucking Big L on my boombox and shit. Dude, like, yo, what this motherfucker's talking about robbing old ladies and shit. Yo, this shit is fucking crazy, dude.
It's still, man, it's still fucking great. So like you're listening to things through, I remember when I first learned how to play guitar, I couldn't really decipher, what the guitar was. I couldn't really figure out that everything playing at the same time was music. Me playing, because I'm playing these chords, but it doesn't sound like that song. So did you start listening to hip hop records on that level? Because you're like right now, you're such a great producer. Like how long, like how would
that took me like 20 years to figure out how to do that shit.
Congrats, man. Congrats. We're here.
I feel like I just started making beats right now. But I've been making beats for like 2 years, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I think now I really have the grasp of it, but I didn't really, like, I was just like, okay, I'm just like playing shit, and it's like, it sounds good in my ear. It's shit that I did 15, 20 years ago. Like, it sounded good in my ear, but I didn't really understand how to like make a pocket for the bass to go in, and like, like I didn't know how to count bars or how long to make shit or anything like that. I think I've maybe in the past 10 years I figured that out. And like right now, when I'm like, basically this pandemic made me be like, yo, I'm not going back to work ever again. It's just not gonna fucking happen. I'm not doing it. I'm too comfortable in my crib. So I was like, I'm fucking doing this shit now. So I just like really sat down and like plugged in all my old gear that I haven't used in 10 years and shit. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna figure out how to make all this shit work together. And that's like, I'm just recording albums and fucking producing shit for other people. So, but I think it took me like 20 years to fucking really.
You're supposed to feel that way. Like, I mean, like, when I listen back to shit that I was doing, like, even 5 years ago, like, I'm like, you're always, that's the drive that keeps you creating. Like, you make a record or you make a song or you make a beat and you hear it and you're like, oh, that's cool. I love this. But a week later, you're like, I want to crush it.
That's why I haven't released anything in fucking 10 years. Like I haven't put out a solo album in like 10 years, bro.
Yo, tell me why though. So you did you did Archaeology, right? That was the first one, and then the second one was Walking at Night. So, but that was 2011. So like, what do you remember about making those 2 records in particular?
So Archaeology was like a compilation pretty much of like shit that I've been doing for the past few years. Like I didn't sit down to make an album. I was like, wait, I've just been making songs like every day, fucking the past few years. I'm gonna pick out the best ones or whatever. And at the time, they're not that good anymore. But I liked them the best at that time. Put those out. But I don't know. I was a wild motherfucker. So I'm all over the place on that, you know. I got like some violent songs, some political songs, some fucking depressing songs. You know, that was my life at the time. And then Walking at Night, I was real wild. And I had my own crib I had my own little spot. Like I had a basement. I rented a house with like 5 of my friends, and I had like the whole basement to myself. So I like really made a studio down there and did that. But yeah, Walking at Night, I don't know. It was a wild time for a lot of us.
What do you like remember specifically? Like, I mean, like, so you tell me what Dead Rabbits is. I know it's like a collective kind of, you know, from. Like,
I couldn't even tell you what it is right now, bro.
but how did it start? Like, what did it start as?
It started as me, my guy Grim, Balik, and then Cole and Taboo, which are brothers. And basically we were like, we all fucked with each other, but like some of us fucked with each other and then didn't like the other ones or whatever. Not necessarily didn't like each other, but we were like, we figured out like we're the motherfuckers that are like kind of the best out here that are actively doing shit. And I think it was like when we used to throw a lot of shows, and then all of a sudden like this pay to promote what do you call it? Like pay to play.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like all of our shows were like, nah, if you want to play here, you gotta like open up for Rakim and sell 30 tickets and shit.
Yeah. I know the deal. Yep.
And we were like, nah. How about we just come to your show and beat the shit out of everybody and you and the fucking performers and everybody. So we literally like, we're just on the phone and we're like, and I was watching Gangs of New York at the time, and I was on the phone with fucking Tabs and Cole, and I was like, Dead Rabbits. I just said it, like I wasn't even paying attention to our conversation because we were trying to think of a name. And I was like, hell yeah, Dead Rabbits. Like, yo, it's a good name. Like, a good name for what? Like, for us, dude. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, let's do it. So it really started as like a collective of like, we fucking hated everybody, but we fucked with each other, and we were like, it was kind of like, it was like some violent shit, but it was also
it was
like a gang that wasn't really a gang, but it was also like, it was like a creative thing. Like, you know, I wanted it to be like, yo, let's get all these motherfuckers down that are dope, all these people that I've been fucking with for years. And then it turned into like everybody had like a few motherfuckers they've been fucking with for years, but we're all fucking insane. So it's like, yeah, let's put 20 of the craziest people in Long Island and New York City just like
happens.
Room together.
Yeah.
Like, with a bunch of other motherfuckers, and it was just like always fights and fucking. We didn't get much done.
Hey, listen, that's what it is.
It's still, yo, now we got motherfuckers in like every country in the crew and shit. So like, it fucking got out of control.
Listen, at the end of the day, you guys were creative, and it seemed to be like a lot of fun and stuff. And growing up, you know, in the music scene as well on Long Island, what I realized was hip hop. Like there wasn't really that many hip hop crews. It was like Ancient Tongue, which we were friends with.
Ancient Tongue was like in Dead Rabbits for a little bit, but I think they were like, we did a show with them, and some steroid dude in Patch Hog was like talking shit while we were on the stage, and I took a fucking like a giant monitor off the stage. I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. I took the fucking monitor and threw it at this motherfucker like off the stage. Yeah. I think Ancient Tongue was like, yo, dude, I think these motherfuckers are crazier than we thought. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I love, those are my guys. But I think they were like, dude, we just want to like smoke weed and make cool music and shit. And we're like, nah, we're going to fucking kill everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, man, you know, you got to respect it. Shout out to that, you know, steroid guy from Patchogue, man. Hopefully he's doing okay. But also the Day Laborers was another group, and you had them on your second record, right?
Are they on Walking? No, I don't have anybody on Walking at Night, but they're on.
Oh, then it was the first record.
Yeah, those are my guys still to this day.
Yeah.
I love all their shit that they've ever done.
Super talented.
Yeah, INF fucking really introduced me to a lot. Like, they were in a crew called Anti-Stars. You know about that?
No.
They're fucking dope. It's good luck finding any of that shit, but okay. But yeah, we used to like Day Laborers is aspect of INF, but then they were like part of a bigger collective called Anti-Stars, which was Sidious and a bunch of other people. But we used to that was like my team, you know what I'm saying? Like before we were Dead Rabbits, that was like, I had me and Grim, I got Messiah Angels, Larry from Nassau Chainsaw, and then those dudes, we used to rock shows all the time, like every CBGB, everywhere, all over fucking New York City, all over Staten Island, fucking Brooklyn. So for like years, we were doing shit. But I think, honestly, I'm the only motherfucker that's like still doing shit. And now, like, fuck it, dude, I'm just gonna join a union and fuck it. You know, like, I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not gonna do that. But like pretty much everyone else that I've ever rapped with is either like dead or fucking in a union. You know?
I mean, Diabolic is still like, he is still making.
Diabolic is still rapping, and he's not dead, and he's not in the union.
Yeah. And he, I mean, you want to talk? I feel like that guy definitely hit his stride on his last few records. I feel like amazing. Like I don't think like he wastes a bar. Like he is.
Nah, I mean, Balik is. It's nobody could argue that he's like one of the best motherfuckers to ever.
Yeah.
Rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, just can't even. You could fucking like him or dislike him, but you like that motherfucker will fucking punch you in the face and out rap you like every fucking time.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Shout out to him. But man.
We recorded a lot of The Liar and the Thief in my mom's crib in Old Bethpage.
Oh, really? I gotta say, Stand By. Stand By is one of the, like, you want to talk about rah punch you in your face shit. You listen to Stand By off of Liar and the Thief, and like if you don't feel like beating somebody, like at least hitting them once, at least throwing a monitor at someone once, you know, like during Stand By, like that song is bananas.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that whole fucking album is that shit's an underground classic, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of it recorded in my fucking mom's crib. And then fucking Southpaw had to fix that shit up. That like everything that we fucked up. Like, all right, Southpaw, here, re-record that, do this. So all the shit that sounds good, Southpaw did, and all the shit that doesn't sound so good was at my crib.
So when did you? Because somewhere along the way, I feel like you might be more into the production side than the emceeing side at the moment. Is that like a valid statement?
Nah, not really. I mean, yeah and no. Like right now, I'm just like, I get in moods where I'm like, I want to rap for like weeks or months at a time, where I just like want to write shit. And then sometimes I just want to fucking make beats for a few months. So right now I'm on my beat kick, but I've also been like, I got songs recorded for a new album. I produced an album for AM Early Morning. And I'm on like 3 of those out of 7 that I rapped on. Me and Tabs just finished an album that's got like 10 songs on it that I rapped all of them, that I produced. So I don't know. I like both, but
okay.
I like making beats. It's like I'd rather send beats to people than send verses to people.
Yeah.
You know, like to collaborate with other hey, let me get on your album. Like, nah, dude, just here's this beat, you do it.
Yeah.
Because I like making the beats and it takes me 5 minutes, and then like, you fucking promote this now. You put your shit on it. Like I already did. I'm done. I moved on to the next project already, you know?
Yeah, man, that's how I completely understand that. Like as soon as we're finished with an EP, it's like, you know, after like a month or two, I'm always working on new music, and it's like I'm constantly chasing that high of finding that right chord progression to be like, okay, this is, you know, it's like once you get that song, like right now I'm waiting for mixes from our engineer, and it's
the worst.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my boy Jazz. You were talking to Jazz about his equipment.
With the Digio too.
Yeah. So all right, I wanted to also bring up something that you did, but before I get to Dirty Southside, somewhere along the way you decided to move to Chicago. Like, what was the reasoning beyond that?
I don't know if I could really talk about it that much, but
okay, yeah. Listen.
Basically, I went on an adventure. You know what I'm saying? I'm an adventurous kind of guy, and I was like, I came out here and I was like, yo, these motherfuckers, like all my guys, like I said, like already at this point, it was like right after I had dropped Walking at Night. It was like 2011, and I just felt like nothing was really popping out there anymore. Like I don't know, New York was like I had already done everything. Like every venue that there is to perform, I already did that shit. You know, and it was like nobody was really on the same shit that I was. All my people were like just like either having kids or getting fucked up on dope, or you know what I'm saying, like just, or like, you know, that's it. Like they either got married and like live in a house now and don't hang out no more, or they're fucking on dope, or they're in jail or some shit. And I was like,
that sounds like Long Island for sure.
yeah, and that's the thing. And Long Island fucking sucks. Like, yo, that shit is fucking trash. I fucking hated that place. Like, you know, I rep Long. I got a Long Island tattoo and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like, bro, that shit. Like, if we wanted to hang out right now, and I live in, where do you stay at?
I'm in West Bab.
Okay, so like, even for me and you to like hang out, you don't drink and shit. But let's say if we wanted to like drink, like I got to drive for fucking half an hour to get come out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And then our other friend lives in fucking Riverhead or some shit. And then my other guys all live in Brooklyn. And like to even hang out with your friends, it's impossible unless you drive drunk and shit.
Sure.
And I came out here and these motherfuckers were like fucking freestyling in the street and spray painting shit. And fucking everyone was fucking having DJ battles and like, I don't know. It seemed like, yo, these motherfuckers are still on this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, okay, I got a job now and I don't really want to rap anymore. I'm like, yo, no, these motherfuckers like, fuck that. We're like 30 years old. Fucking, we're still in a fucking graph crew. You know what I'm saying? We're still out here fucking tearing shit up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm 43 out here writing songs like a jerk off. But I love it, you know?
Right now.
Yeah, man. I remember when I went out to Riot Fest real quick, man. Like, you know, we touched base and I had never met you, but you still hit me up and you were like, yo, if you need X, Y, and Z or whatever, anything you good. And I was like, damn, I'm like, this dude is official. And it was just on the strength of knowing like Sullivan and whoever else from over there. And I was like, nah, man, I'm good. And I was like, you going to Riot Fest? You're like, I don't go to festivals. I was like, I'm like, all right, cool. You know where I can get some tacos around here?
I do, but not over there.
Not over there. Yeah. We were staying in some fancy area and shit. What are some of the best things of Chicago aside from like the music?
I don't even know how to answer that. We got pretty good fucking gangs out here.
All right, yeah.
A lot of good fucking killers.
Yeah, that's half our fan base.
We've read, yeah.
Nah, Chicago's a shit, bro. I mean, I like the people out here. Chicago it's like a bunch of crazy motherfuckers, just like New York. You know, everyone thinks that everyone from New York is crazy, which we are. But everybody out here is fucking wild as fuck too.
Yeah. No, trust
but
me.
everybody here, for real, everybody's really cool out here. Like, when I came out here, like everybody welcomed me into their lives and their homes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody out here is really cool. The food's like, it's fat ass people food. Everything's fucking greasy.
Ah, hey, talking my language.
It's a place, bro. It's a, like, you know, everybody's, I don't know about everybody because there's probably some normal people, but everybody that I know, you know, we all fucking kick it, have a good time, fucking have each other's backs and shit. It's a cool fucking city, man. I like it a lot.
So, tell me about Dirty Southside Volume 1. I know you put out like some instrumentals. How'd that come about?
Yeah, that was just me fucking being bored, I guess. It's like, yo, I'm just gonna make some fucking beats. And it was basically like I didn't want to rap at the moment. And I wanted like just some chill shit for me to listen to, almost like for me and my guys to just kick back and listen to.
Yeah.
So they're all like, all those beats are kind of like real like smooth, like calm, slow, real slow tempo.
Yeah.
I don't even smoke weed, but it's like to smoke like music to smoke weed and just kick it. Because I'm fucking high strung, so sometimes I just make music for myself. It's like meditation, you know. Like I need some shit like Portishead, but Portishead ain't putting out shit like this, so I got to do it myself.
Nah,
they are
putting
not.
out nothing.
They're putting out nothing, and I'll tell you this:
if you don't want to put out another Portishead album, I'll put one out for myself.
Yo, the first two Portishead records are fucking life changing. I remember when I first heard "Dummy." It was one of those like groundbreaking moments, like when I first heard the first Diggable Planets record. Like it was one of those things where it's like, this is everything. This is this is one of the greatest pieces of music ever. The second record, very much so. And then they went away and they put out Third, which I don't really like Third.
Nah, I don't either.
Because it didn't.
I gotta go back and try it again, but I don't think that
I'll go back
feel
and
any differently about it. I don't know. Just
it didn't have the hip hop.
It is the fucking live at the Roseland. That shit is.
Oh, that's amazing.
That shit is fucking stupid.
But it just didn't have like Jeff didn't throw that hip hop vibe to it. It was more of like a Radiohead, like bleeps.
Was Andy Smith even on it, the DJ?
I don't think so.
I don't even know if he missed his cuts and everything like that too, you know.
But so have you heard that what was that? Huss King? He put out Portis.
Portis, yeah.
No, I gotta check that out.
Oh, it's good, man.
Yeah. I mean, guys,
it's good.
Guy's got a song named Beth Gibbons. Like he's like, you know, legit. Yeah, that record in particular. But all right, so that brings us like if you want to talk about, I asked you to pick 5 movies that help you, or maybe that kind of like fuel your creativity. So if we're talking about like mood stuff that you did on Dirty South Side, what are 5 movies that you feel maybe get you in a creative mode, or maybe 5 movies that you just fuck with through your whole life?
Yeah, I don't know if any movies get me. Like when you ask me that, I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like I never watch a movie and I'm like, I pause it and like go start making the beat. Yeah. Like, oh, fuck that. Hell yeah. Like Clockwork Orange. This dude just stabbed a fucking friend and threw him in the river. I'm about to go fucking make a beat right now.
except Gangs in New York. You're like, yo, I got an idea.
Yeah, well, that just was, I don't know. That just like fucking was maybe bad for the universe for me watching that movie.
All right.
But all right, I made a list of what, let's see, where's my movie list that I made? It's gonna be stupid too.
Yeah,
I see you got the Bloodsport poster on the wall behind you. Shout out to that.
Yeah. Shout out to Frank Dukes.
Like creative. Fucking. All right, we got. I'm just gonna name movies that I like.
Yeah, man. Sure. Oh, yeah. We like this. What we like, shit like this. We like to know what makes you tick as far as like arts.
And I don't even know if any of these. But all right, I'm gonna start. A Clockwork Orange is like big shit that I could watch every day.
Yeah.
And shit. Like when I had a DVD collection, I had like 5 movies. It was like Braveheart's one, A Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, this might be your personality.
Like, I was just like, I'm gonna watch these every day. Like I'm just gonna leave these on all day and shit.
Yeah.
What else I got? All right, I got Forrest Gump.
All right, that's a good one.
Because who the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Who doesn't fuck with Forrest Gump?
Nah, yeah. Shout out to Jenny for coming back with AIDS.
Raise my kid, Forrest.
I know you wanted to talk about Escape from LA, so let's talk about
it. Yeah. Yo, I mean, listen, John Carpenter is like fucking, I mean, the guy makes amazing scores on top of making amazing movies. And Escape from New York was something I watched as a kid, and I couldn't really like it kind of, I don't want to say it bummed me out, but it made me feel like the world was unsafe. You know, I was watching, I don't know, how old was I? Maybe like 7 or 8, and I couldn't comprehend. I was like, this universe that was created, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, even the hero was like an anti-hero in Snake Plissken and shit. So, what do you remember that?
I just watched that. I just watched Escape from New York like a couple days ago, just for the fuck of it too. Yeah. But I don't know. I for some reason, everyone is like, Escape from LA is like the corny ass version. Yeah. But I don't know why I fucking love that movie, dude.
You know, I mean, it's
even John Carpenter's scores, like people don't give him that credit. Like,
oh man,
I just watched a video the other day of all the equipment he was using and like the way that he would like do little chord progressions and shit. Like, and like he would like at that time there was no really like Pro Tools and shit. So like you had to like have like one synthesizer is going like and the other one's going fucking the Moog is fucking doing all kinds of crazy shit. Then he's got like a Roland 606 doing the fucking hi-hats and shit.
And he was going
People don't give him credit.
He was going on tour just recently doing that shit, you know, like so it was like his son and his nephew, and they were performing that shit with like the movie scenes in the back, whether it be from Christine or The Fog or whatever. And man, just really cool. And also, speaking of what you were just, you know, mimicking, which was the Halloween theme, that movie tested, and they didn't have that score, and it tested very low, and they're like, we need to do something. And then he went and wrote that whole score, and then it played, and it fucking popped off. And it was like, yo, like, because that score was bananas. Like, it just,
I mean, that's the movie.
Yeah.
It's that as soon as you fucking hear it. Dude, I was in Mexico I don't know whenever the last time I was allowed to travel, I was in Mexico for like Day of the Dead, and these motherfuckers had cumbia fucking mixes of that shit bumping in the fucking street.
Yeah, 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 like the fucking scratcher.
That shit fucking made the fucking movie though. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think of that, all you think of is that fucking song. You know?
Yeah. How's your Spanish though?
It's not that good.
Okay, all right. Enough to get around in Mexico.
Spanglish and shit, you know.
Okay, yeah.
I live in a Mexican neighborhood, so you know.
Okay, yeah.
I can speak dirty ass Spanish a little bit.
That's all you need.
Get by. Yeah.
But all right. What else you got in that movie, pal? That's it.
All right, I got Me, Myself, and Irene.
That was one of those movies that watching it in the theaters, like there's a few movies that made me belly laugh. I think we brought up maybe Austin Powers one time. But that movie in particular, like Me, Myself, and Irene was just funny, like beginning to end, man. Just ridiculous.
I think like I spend a lot of time watching comedy because I'm like a fucking crazy, like pissed. I'm always in a bad mood, but like not really, you know, like I think I just don't like motherfuckers. I don't like people to be around people. And so I'm just always like annoyed at things. So comedy, like I could just like sit by myself and just fucking laugh at something for 2 hours. And it saves everybody else's life. It makes me better mood, you know? Like I'll watch Carpenter all day. I'll watch like from like the early 80s until he died. Like I'll watch every one of those fucking stand-ups like ritually.
The older I get, the less the things bother me, you know? When I was like younger, like everything people would do would annoy me. And then like once I hit like 35, I was just like, I'm like, I don't care, you know? So like I went the opposite way, but some people go the other way. And the older they get, they're just like, I fucking want it, like everything.
Yeah, I went I made a wrong turn.
Yeah, I think my girlfriend made that turn too, because everything I do is just terrible. Like she hates.
I mean, whose girl doesn't hate everything that they do? My girl right now just for being alive.
Yeah, she's like, really? She's like, you're gonna chew gum like that? And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm watching TV.
I've been chewing gum like this when we met. You didn't fuck up.
Yeah. Cool, man.
I got more movies.
Yeah, man. Spit them out.
Runners up. I got Caddyshack on there too.
Classic.
Oh yeah,
classic. I don't know. I got movies for days, but I don't know how long we have to.
No, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's a good collection of movies, especially Caddyshack. Just recently, I rewatched it, and it still fucking holds up. And it's just Ted Knight is great, but goddamn, fucking Rodney Dangerfield is just
so good.
He's so fucking good, man. Like that, Caddyshack, Easy Money, and Back to School. Like, what a legacy! Like those three movies. You
think about all the performances in that film to have them in one. I mean, Bill Murray killed it. Chevy Chase killed it. Rodney and Ted Knight is one of the most unsung roles of the film. You know, as the villain.
To this day, I'll say like when he's like his nephew, the dude's nephew's like. I'm gonna play tennis. Like you'll play golf and you'll like it. Like I say that shit to people all the time. They're like, "No, I want a Modelo." I'm like, "You'll drink a fucking Bud Light and you'll like it."
And you'll like it. Yeah.
I quote Ted Knight all the time.
I love dropping.
World needs ditch diggers too.
All right, man. So that brings us to some music talk here.
Yeah.
I love the production you do. You know, it has a lot of flavor, a lot of soul to it. Like anytime I click on something. You know, I don't know, maybe you're just connecting with me on that audio level, which is why I appreciate everything that you do. So I just wanted to know if you give me 5 hip hop records that you feel are kind of like the Mount Rushmore in terms of production.
Okay. I'm going to start it off. Fantastic Damage.
That's it. Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from Funk Crusher Plus.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Cold Vein. But for me, Fantastic Damage, I'm only saying this because I fucking hated Fantastic Damage when I first heard that shit. It was the worst shit that I had ever heard in my fucking life. I was like, yo, this is fucking trash. and I was like, yo, let me go back to this shit. And I'm like, yo, this shit's kind of whatever. Let me listen to it a couple more times because I like had the CD. I'm out, you know, I was like, let me fucking listen to this shit. And the more I listen to it, I'm like, yo, this is fucking nuts. And like to me, to make something that I fucking hate, like a lot of my best friends, we like didn't necessarily like each other when we first met. You know, like, hey, I didn't like this guy. But then, you know, you like those end up being your best friends. And Fantastic Damage was like that dude that I didn't fuck with.
Yeah.
But now that's my guy.
Yeah. Now that guy's going to every barbecue.
That's my fucking crew right there.
But yo, let me talk. I completely get it, man. So the Cold Vein, the Cannibal Ox Cold Vein, shout out to Vast Air, who will be on the show soon. That record in particular, LP's probably finest hour as far as production. Funk Crusher Plus, all that stuff. I mean, Fire in Which You Burn was mind-blowing. And then listening to Fantastic Damage, man, like it's like I wasn't ready for it as well. But as time went on, like I'm like, yo, it was like 5 years ahead of my brain at that time for me personally.
Yeah, same.
You know, like it was like I would always compare his beats to like the Dillinger Escape Plan of like hip hop. Like you hear it,
right? There's no fucking rhyme or reason. It's like exactly. That's a good comparison.
Because like sometimes you're thinking of like Eric B. and Rakim and like that production where you're like, that's like sometimes we're so attached to what we feel hip hop is. That when you hear something like Fantastic Damage, you're like, damn. And to him, he's often said, he's like, to me, I thought I was just making like, Bomb Squad production. I was like, I guess it was, but like it with his own flavor, man. So yeah, shout out to the LP record.
Yeah. All right. What else? Next, we got 6 Feet Deep.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Gravediggers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prince Paul.
Oh, yeah.
When I bought that because I was in the store. I think I was in like Florida or some shit at the time, and I seen fucking RZA's face on the front. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I never even heard of it. I'm buying this shit. It's like $10 or some shit. I fucking bought that, and I was like, again, I fucking hate it. I'm like, this is Wu-Tang. What the fuck is this? Yes. RZA's on the front of it.
Yeah.
Where's fucking Old Dirty Bastard and Method Man and shit? What the fuck is this? And then I like, it was the only CD I had on that trip, so I just kept on listening to it. And I was like, yo, this shit is, I listen to it to this day, like all the time. It's
funny when, now we have access to everything. We've mentioned this before. When you buy that one CD or that one cassette, you're like, I'm listening to this shit. And then like by the 10th listen, you're like, this shit's pretty good. But like on that record, man, first of all, 1-800-Suicide, when I first heard it, there was two cassettes that I would listen to in high school in 9th grade. 93 Till Infinity. Every homeroom, and then I would listen to that Gravediggers cassette. And man, 2 Cups of Blood is probably my favorite song on that record because that beat and that reverse scratch is just so good, man. Good one.
All right, next.
Yeah.
Living Proof, Group Home.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
I was gonna say Hard to Earn.
That's the shit. Yeah.
But we said production.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. To me, I got that shit on vinyl. I listen to it all the time, like that. From start to end, there's no beat on there. There's no fucking sound on that fucking record that is out of place.
They got blessed with that production for sure.
They got fucking.
Oh my god. It's one of the best primo. Outside of Gangstar, I think that record and maybe J. Rue's are just amazing. His work outside of Gangstar, but man, Suspended in Time, all the stuff on there. I mean, that's one of my favorite primo tracks. Period. Yeah. Yeah,
he's the only person I ever met that I was starstruck when I met. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it. I was walking to the bank in in Queens, and he was on his phone, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that's DJ Premier. I was like, god damn. I'm like, yo, 30 years listening to you. He's like, yo, man, cool. And I just walked in.
Yeah, he's cool. I met him a few times. He was always cool.
Yeah. All right. So
all right, next we got the infamous. Have to infamous on there. Start to finish. You want to talk about goon? Put it on till it ends, bro. That shit.
Yeah, goon music. Like that's goon.
The blueprint.
That's a blueprint. And it's funny you mentioned Hard to Earn because The Infamous and Hard to Earn are the 2 records that I probably listen to the most.
I still listen to them the most. I do, for real.
What's your favorite song or the song that you really like? To me, Eye for an Eye. Like I don't rap, But I know all the lyrics to Eye for an Eye, and like that to me is like that's like the track right there.
My favorite song is fucking Prodigy talking shit on the interlude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so skinny motherfucker, but it's all about who gets who first. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
That's my favorite song on that fucking album.
Yeah. Some of them don't have that interlude. But it's funny.
And a lot of people love Hell. You put the question to the group once too, Sam. I think Hell on Earth and the Infamous. And I was surprised that it was even that close. I love Hell on Earth. Don't get me wrong, but the Infamous.
I feel like the people that said Hell on Earth, it's just how old they are.
Yes,
you're right. That's true.
You were alive when you were old. If you were old enough to like listen to the Infamous, when did this come out? 95 or some shit.
95 and 96 were the two records.
Okay, so I was like 12, 13, but I was an old 12, 13 or whatever the fuck.
Right,
but like,
right.
You know, the people that just started really listening to music later, or you know, like girls or whatever, heard the song on the radio, they're gonna say that shit.
That's a good point.
Like really, really into that shit, ain't nobody gonna.
It is.
I mean, Hell on Earth is a great record.
Great record.
That's how we fall in with the Metallica albums too, Sam. I always talk about that too. Like, and Justice is your favorite.
Yeah.
I'm a little older than Sam. Master of Puppets is my favorite. Some people, I hated the Black Album. Some other people love the Black Album. You know what I mean? It's
I like
what came out when you were discovering shit. You know?
Yeah, I fuck with the Black.
See, when I was discovering shit, the Black Album was probably out already. Right? Like, what year did the Black Album?
91.
90.
Yeah. So that, like, it was already, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the last Metallica album. That's their latest release is the Black Album.
That was the latest. Yeah, coming in with their latest release, the Black Album.
What those guys been doing since 91? They still around?
All right, give me your number 5.
Purple Tape.
Oh yeah, yo, we're on par. Like seriously, your picks, like we're on par. That's my favorite Wu solo. But go ahead.
That dude. I mean, what could you say?
I mean that was life changing. I remember buying that and being like, "What is he doing in the back with this water?"
That's a chef, bro.
Yeah, he was a chef for sure.
He was cooking. He was cooking.
Marvelous shit.
He was cooking that marvelous shit.
Ice water.
Real good. Like, from the time that shit turns on and the little din comes on, like, oh motherfucker, dude. Like I listen to that almost every day, literally to this day. That fucking record.
Verbal Intercourse, Spot Rushers, fucking Wu Gambino's Ice Water, Criminology,
everything on there, bro.
Everything. Yeah. That's you know, I hate to pick, but like when I think of my favorite solo Wu, it's just it's always you know, Cuban Links. And I know on one of your songs you were talking about the first time you heard Iron Man, right? Didn't you throw that on one of your songs?
Yeah. I mean, it's up there between Iron Man and to me that's like a package. You know what I'm saying? It's like Iron Man and the Purple Tape.
Yeah.
It's like a double disc. It's like a double tape.
Cool. Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna really choose, but if I have to, the Purple Tape. You know
and I think it was on Golden Age, and like a lot of the lyrics on your song Golden Age, I really like because it was like everything that I grew up on, man. It was like just talking about 90s mixtapes, 36 chambers, cassettes, skateboarding, which I was huge into, Metallica and Cypress Hill, which were like the two biggest groups for me.
I mean, that was my life, you know?
Yeah. And the fact that you mentioned one of the most important things that is valid, Tribe Called Quest did have the best bass lines.
I was gonna put some Tribe records on here, but they got knocked out. They got knocked out by.
But it's true. Like you hear Excursions, you hear Bugging Out, and you're like this, like the bass on, you know. So listen, I know you got to do the Sensei show, so I'm gonna hit you up with the last question, which was you know, we talked a lot of hip hop, but now I really want you to give me 5 records that are not hip hop that have stuck with you through your life, because I'd like to hear what those are.
We kind of already went over a lot of them, but
yeah,
the answer is the first 5 Metallica albums.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Yeah, that's it.
Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, Black Album.
And
But no, that's not really. But I did write that down. And I'm not even gonna pick one of those. I'm just gonna put them all together as one of my albums.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Respect.
We got next after that. We're gonna go to Vulgar Display of Power.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Mouth for
How do you
War.
feel?
Yo, so on the other show I used to do with George from Mind Over Matter, which I'm sure you remember that band name. So
Yeah.
I used to do a podcast with him before he moved to Vegas, and we had Phil Anselmo on the podcast, and that that was one of my favorite treats, just because I love that record so much. Everything on there, man. Just I remember when I first heard Mouth for War, it was like pretty mind blowing, and
the production on that album, so crisp, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the record that I still listen to this day. Since I was a little kid and I bought that record, I bought the tape or whatever. I still listen to that shit today.
Wow.
Even though whatever, I know Phil Anselmo's a fucking nutcase. But who is it?
Yeah, it makes me nervous. You know, you're a little high strung. I don't know what happens if you listen to that album. I might have to knock when This Love hits.
It calms me. Like it's safer with me listening to that than if you put on like Bad Bunny and shit around me.
Oh my god!
Like if you put on some shit that I don't like,
yeah,
like you'll just see me in the room. I'm like fucking taking my gun out and shit.
Yeah.
Like yo, motherfucker, are you done with this fucking song? What the fuck are we doing here?
I don't know Bad Bunny, but I know that I know who he is. I know he's a Spanish guy. I don't know anything that he does, and I get him confused with Bad Barbie. So, you know, maybe they'll do a song together.
Bad Baby? You talking about the Cash Me Outside girl?
Oh, is it Baby?
That's what I thought her name was.
I don't know.
All right.
When
she could change it.
Yeah.
Girl, right?
We know Cash Me Outside.
Yeah, that's it. So,
all right, I'm moving next. Ready?
Yeah.
Time.
What's on?
Time to Shine. My next album.
Which one?
Time to Shine. E-Town Concrete.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I know the band. I don't know that record.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should probably go back and check that out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know that they were.
Yeah, that's one of the albums that, like, when I first heard it, loved it, still listen to it to this day.
Awesome. Yeah.
So me and Sullivan have Buddy Time to Shine tattoos.
Oh.
Hit him up. That.
I love that guy, man.
All three of us went.
Yeah, man. I get into very long, midnight conversations with Sullivan sometimes.
We usually just talk about Manowar on Facebook.
Manowar or like the White Rapper Show.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking sorry.
You got anything else?
White Rapper Show. All right, I'm gonna throw a one that maybe people don't think that I would listen to, but fucking Sublime.
Yeah. Which one?
The self-titled.
Self-titled. Yeah.
The big one. Yeah.
Fucking great.
I listened to it today when I was on the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Love that record.
They're one of those groups that, like, I hate every band that sounds like Sublime except Sublime.
Fact.
You know,
if you listen to anything like 311 or whatever, slightly retarded or whatever the fuck these other shit is,
get the strap. Get the strap.
That's corny, bro. Sublime is not, for some reason, to me, isn't corny. I don't know how they pulled it off. But they're hard.
They just seem like genuine scumbags and like degenerates that write really good music. And it just, like, you hear, like, you just hear Wrong Way, like, lyrically too. Like, he was on point, like the shit he was talking about. I mean, the fucking guy sang in Spanish too. He had a Spanglish song, Caress Me Down. Yeah, man. So yeah, I fuck with that album a lot.
Well, and they're on the radio talking about, like, yo, I got something for your punk ass, or like, I'm fucking stick a 45 down your throat.
Yeah.
But it's on the radio and shit. Like, people are singing along.
Shout out to Sancho, man. I hope he stepped off on that.
Watch out for Sancho.
Yo, man, thank you for hanging out with us. And
man.
What do we like? When's the new record coming out?
I don't have the vinyls are on the way for, like, this shit that I did with my guy AM Early Morning. We didn't set a release date yet, but I'm thinking, like, probably around July.
Cool, man. Whatever comes out, we will definitely push and throw out there, you know, so people that don't know what you do, hopefully they'll know if we could, you know, from our world, our podcast world. And because I love your music, I love what you do. And man, thank you for hanging with us.
Yeah, much appreciated, man.
Thank you guys for listening to me fucking talk shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all
anytime.
Good. All good, brother. So, all right, we'll talk.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Dark